Okay, test. Hello, guys. I'm gonna turn down my music a little bit. Can everybody hear me? Hello. This mic is blocking my view. Welcome, Chad. We see and hear you. Amazing. How's everyone doing on this fine Friday evening? Are you guys ready to study some chess? We have a whole agenda today. Not only will I be doing my chess homework, but chat, you will be preparing too. Because today we're going to be doing a sub battle versus my good friend Anna Kramling, who is actually in my house, which is funny. We're going to be streaming together from separate computers when we're in the same house. And you guys have to play. If you want to represent, of course you have to be a sub. You could use your Twitch Prime, of course. You do command play in the chat, and we're going to do that around 4:30, so in an hour and a half. So if you guys want to play after my chess lesson with Hammer, make sure to click that link. I do like the pink hair. I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of sad because it's starting to wash out a little bit more. But I feel like it's given me a whole new personality. Hi, Daily Dose and Gerbers. It's good to see you guys. Did we win the last sub battle against the Frenchies? And what did they put? I guess they probably put subs on the line. Hello, Sanguine. Why are we Omega Lilling? Did we lose? This is not a debate. We're not organized enough, or we would have filmed the debate in the last week when I had pink hair. Oh, we won. Wow, that's good. I'm surprised. I'm happy to hear that, Max Lard. I'm a little bit sniffly, but that's okay. I can't do a backflip, I'm sorry, but I can play chess. Alright, I'm going to bring in Coach Hammer. Thank you for the prime. And he's going to bring in the hammer. I'm going to be very focused. Do you feel like he gave you a louder personality? How would you know? Because you're apparently watching without audio, Mr. Keep Dalling. Where's Hammer? Are you guys ready? Bam! A wild hammer appears! Welcome, Hammer.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Andrea.
Do you miss us? Do you miss being on stream? Are you happy to be back?
I'm thrilled.
Whoa, someone said something in your language. I don't know what he said. Have you just been aching for more Botez study streams?
Yeah. Well, someone's got to do them because you're not.
I know. I won yesterday, so I know I'm not doing much, but what I'm doing is good because I nearly demolished my sister, and I got a tied score against Kramling, which must mean that I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I watched one of the games, I think.
My arms are sore.
No,
okay.
I didn't watch the game, but I heard you beat Alexandra, which I assumed was good.
And I was destroying her in the first game, but yes, I have a lot. But now we're home. I'm going to be focusing on chess before the tournament. No more distractions, no more raves. Hello, food stamps. Okay, you guys know the drill. We're going to hop into the puzzles because time is of the essence this morning. I'm going to take out my earbuds. I think I need some classical music real quick.
You're also going to need to share your screen.
Oh, yes, I can do that.
Putting it out there.
Okay, now that means you're going to hear my music. Wait, am I leaking anything? Well,
I'll probably survive that.
Okay. Should be good.
Oh, you are leaking stuff.
Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing in there. Hey, Ulan! Oh my god, Ulan, thank you so much for the 43 months. I don't know how. I feel like you're always subbing with like a whole nother year every time I see you. Thank you so much. Okay, classical, focus, piano music. Okay, no more rave music.
So how have you been doing in Puzzle Rush, or are you you haven't played since the last time we did this?
Oh, I mean, I've been hitting like I hit 32 a couple times, but I'm getting always between like 29 to 32. I really want to get to 33.
Oh, you're consistently getting 29?
Or higher. It was like, once or twice.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's very good.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to do my puzzles. Goal is to get over 30 today, this morning, but we'll see because we don't want to waste Hammer's time. Okay, chat, I'm going to leave you guys with the hammer. You better behave. I'm going in. I think everything's good. Okay, I'm going to have to chuck these earbuds across the room.
I thought
Okay,
we
Hammer.
decided you can just put
Oh,
them...
I can still hear him.
Yeah,
Not
well,
far
we
enough.
kind
Oh, wait.
of decided last time that you can just take them out of the computer, no?
No, I can't unplug it because it messes the audio.
Okay.
It's okay. I wish I had like earmuffs.
I thought that
I
was
have
our
these coconuts.
revolutionary discovery
wait.
last time.
I could do this to not hear Hammer. Okay, Hammer didn't find it funny. Alright, I'm going in.
Well,
Fun
I'm
fact, we
watching
used
on
those
a
coconuts
delay,
to
you
catch
know?
a mouse. But it never worked. We never caught it. Okay, I'm going. We're going in! Are you ready? Not if you're ready, Hammer. Okay, he's ready. Okay, I'm not nervous. You are.
Okay, so we're back with the warm-up puzzles. Andrea scoring a consistent 30, which is pretty good. Right now she's in check, which kind of
I'm going
saved
to turn
her.
down Hammer just a little bit. Okay, that's good.
Once she made the discovery that she was in check, she figured out that she had to move the king. Was pretty much the only legal move in the position, and she got it. Doing some of those early puzzle rush checkmates. She's gotten very good at that. Very good at giving up her queen in actual positive situations. Yeah. She got better at these early ones, right? Not that it's super difficult, but sometimes you kind of mess up because you're so focused on doing it quickly that you kind of lose the thread. Yeah, she got too used to giving up the queen here. And so she gave up the queen where it was absolutely not necessary. But so far so good. She's still like, she's got so much time. And she's already at 21. Here she just needs to go check, 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 check. Check, check. No, check! Okay, she blunders her queen a second time. Now it's critical because she's made 2 mistakes. One more mistake and she's out.
Take.
Queen h3 here, the double threat on the knight and the checkmate threat.
What else
along
could
the side
be?
of the board.
Bang, bang. It has to be this, but okay,
No, it
we're at
doesn't have to
23.
be that. Make a threat and also take your time because it is the third. Yes, that's a good discovery.
Check.
Now check, check, checkmate. No, not that check.
Check. Check.
He had a promising start, but she kind of fell apart. And it's also, it's kind of because of the mistakes she made. That means she now has to be much more careful.
Check, bang, check, bang, check.
We're in check. Yes. Check on C1. Yes. She might make 30, then which is going to be good after a very slow start.
This. I'm in
No,
check.
you cannot move your knight. Rook C5 attacks the queen, and then you're going to take the knight afterwards. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. One more for 30. Let's go. Oh, 31 at the buzzer. Take the B4 pawn. B4 pawn. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes!
Very good.
We'll take that.
I mean, what a comeback. What a comeback. After that start, she ties her all-time best.
Hello.
That's pretty decent.
Pretty decent?
Yeah, so... Yeah, no, this was good, no?
Yeah.
Mean, it was not... I mean, the mistakes you made were absolutely horrendous. But, like, your recovery was fantastic.
The recovery... Yeah, I mean, I kind of got lucky because the last 3 ones were all, like, maiden ones. So, I didn't really feel like I had a valiant finish. But, yeah, let me look over my mistakes.
Well, you had some quite easy mates here that you messed up. So, you know, it's all about just getting them.
I can't believe this was wrong. What?
I'm not sure what
like we
you're
take
not
this?
believing. Like 93 was the right move. You
Oh.
made that move.
Oh. Oh, I messed up here because I took this. Oh, because it was... No. Yes, oh, it was this. I just...
Yeah, just keep checking. So this is something we talked about, right? That I feel like you can actually do so much better in these if you just get more in the habit of watching out for checks first.
Yeah, I just feel like this won't apply into real life.
That's not entirely true, because why is it important to watch out for the checks? It's because it's a forcing move. So you want to look out for the moves that limits your opponent's options.
Yeah.
And that is a transferable skill to a real game.
That's fair.
Often you're gonna be looking at variations, which limits the opponents. It's not going to be as obvious as in a puzzle brush, but that's always going to be something you look for.
That is fair. How did I get this wrong?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, well, I gave my queen. I put my queen here instead of here.
You did. Yeah, you got in. Yeah, you had too many puzzles where you sacrificed your queen.
Yeah,
I think you just got in your head.
It's been happening a lot more. That like I played a lot of IRL games versus the Stanford Chess Club, and they were all 2,000 plus, and I gave my queen in like 80% of the games. But it surely can't happen in tournament.
No, you're fine.
Sign up for sub battle, yes, guys, play.
It's
all right.
Just a commitment to the brand.
Exactly. Well, I got 32 on my first try, which means we don't have to do any more puzzles, and we can jump.
No, that's not what it means. No.
What do you mean?
No, you always do 2.
Okay, we do one more, chat. All right, one more.
You do one more, and you might set a record, given that you're in such good shape from the get-go.
Well, I don't know if I'm in good shape, but okay, I will try. Okay, we do one more.
No
Busted.
Try to sneak out.
Okay, wait, let me see. Let me make sure that chat was behaving while you were...
even admitted to getting lucky with the puzzles at the end, and now you think because you got lucky, you get to skimp out.
Only the good ones get lucky, and yes, that is exactly what I was hoping for. Alright, here we go. Far away. Alright. We're going in. Hammer, could you say something?
We're going in. I'm saying something.
Okay. Still kind of... Where did my headphones go? What?
Headphones too close. This is going to be a problem for the whole stream, isn't it? Every time I'm talking and she needs to concentrate on her tasks.
Okay, we're going to try to beat it. I'm going to be very focused.
Okay, we got another one. She does the checkmate in 1. Then she comes in with the queen double attack. The pawn promotes, giving a check on white's king, meaning that the black pawn wins the game. Black is down an insane amount of stuff here, but you get them all back as white tries to save themselves from the checkmate. Yes, checkmate in 1, checkmate in 1, checkmate in 2. These ones she's pretty good at. That pawn just runs up the board to get away. Now we take the knight with check, removing the defender of the bishop, the other bishop, I
can hear you, Hammer. Settle down.
Okay, so we got an early mistake, but there's potential to recover.
Queen.
There's a checkmate with the knight. There's a checkmate with the queen. There's a double attack with the queen, giving up our dragon bishop, but we got some nice stuff out of it, so we don't care. Checkmate in 2 moves. Queen takes g2 is checkmate. Here is another checkmate with the queen. Ooh, yeah, nice. Gotta be honest, did not actually catch that one in time. Got beat by Andrea. Do not blunder the e1 rook!
Hammer is not pleased.
Yeah, well, that was a good one, though.
Oh, God. Okay.
No, no, no.
I had to hide Hammer because I was so scared before I went in, and you know what? I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna do another one. But Hammer's molding was so loud, I have to turn him down just a tad. Okay. Alright. I'm going back, and I'm hiding Hammer's camera because I could feel his Alright, we're going. His disappointment. Okay.
Okay. Note to self: don't be as loud in your disappointment. But yeah, no, that was she's making some early mistakes, which is kind of making her go faster, and then she makes more mistakes because she goes too fast. So if she could just like eliminate those early errors, she's gonna have some very nice runs. There's the bishop. Yes. Let's take that pawn and then rush with the other guy and promote with a check. Now, 2 squares. The knight can give a check. 1 is good. 1 is not good. She finds
Queen.
the good square. Checkmate in 1 move with the queen. Yes. Yes. Another checkmate. Another checkmate. We're being focused right now. Here. Gotta focus. Yes. Okay, black gets a queen first, but we also get a queen, and that's fine. Now we're going to sacrifice our queen on the rook to set up a fork. Nicely done. So this is the kind of puzzles we want her to solve, and she's solving them with ease. Yeah, no!
Bang.
Okay, reset. Reset. You made a silly mistake, but it's not over. We keep going. She's at 24 at the halfway mark. That's pretty good. And she's continuing in good pace. Now the queen will give a check, check, and checkmate. Nicely done. The knight there, check. Yes,
Bang,
trade
bang,
of
bang,
rooks.
bang.
I feel like she kind of gambled that. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not sure she had it figured out before she made the first move. I'm trying to encourage her not to do the gambling. I've been telling her I want her to get the good average scores, and that I don't care that much about the max scores.
And then
but
what?
it's so easy to kind of get in your head about max scores. Okay, here she needs to sacrifice her queen, and I think she's not seeing it. Yeah, she's not seeing queen takes h4. That's unfortunate.
I'm confused.
At this point, honestly, it would be better if she just made a mistake.
What in the world?
Because now she's spending over 20 seconds.
Okay, focus.
Knight check, queen check. So what she's missing also is just looking at the checks. Which I've noticed she had an issue with previously also. Okay, good endgame.
No!
But she lands on 28.
I got that was so bad.
Hammer does like 45 in 3 minutes. It's not that much more than 30, but
that was not good.
More difficult.
I don't know why I could not figure this one out for the life of me.
Yeah, you need to start looking at checks more.
I saw this check, and I saw this check, and I saw these checks.
Yeah, okay.
And
92 check.
I calculated this.
Yeah, do you see any
And then,
check?
I looked at queen takes, but I didn't see this pawn push.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That one was tricky.
No, that one was tricky for sure.
I didn't see this move. I looked at this
Yeah.
position, but I couldn't visualize. I forgot about the bishop controlling. And then what was this? I am assuming I gave my queen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was supposed to just take this with with the rook. Sag. I should have looked over the other one, but I was molding. I was too busy molding to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, Hammer's rather low. Sorry, chat. I had to turn him down because I could hear him. He's up now. He's back. I'll find a better solution. Okay. Hammer is back. Oops, I turned up the music. Alright. Should we do the positions?
Sure, yeah.
I would do more puzzles, but we want to have time to do this before Anna.
We're fine.
Turn off Discord, yes, chat. Sorry. Hope that wasn't too distracting. Typically, my notifications are muted. Okay, turning it off now. Bang. Alright, should be good now. Think people think Hammer's actually lower? No. I think he was just quiet. Oh, somehow you've gotten louder?
Hammer is kind of tired today. I'm not gonna lie. Not max energy.
It is kind of late for Hammer. We had a, okay, here you go, chat. I turned him up.
Well, the lateness of the hour is not really that big of a problem. The thing is that I've been actually getting stuff done the last week.
Wow!
I've been up at 9 a.m. for a week straight.
I always wake up at 9 a.m.
Yeah, well, I mean,
one day I even woke up at 8 a.m. this week.
Yeah, well, good for you. There are those of us who cannot do that.
Hammer's finally finishing his homework. I am on live chess whenever you're ready. Bum, bum.
Yeah, I'm inviting you.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, we're going to have some puzzles, but this is not going to be the puzzle rush kind of thing. You're not going to have, like, winning a piece and then that's it.
So they're not going to be fun.
I mean, that's a matter of definition, I suppose. Yeah, probably not your version of fun, yeah.
Maybe Magnus's version of fun. All right.
Well, I think he would find these puzzles somewhat elementary, but...
Okay, all right.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so the plan is that I take out my earbud. So these are puzzles, and I'm going to take them out, and you want me to think through my process or no?
Yeah, well, if you want to, then yeah.
Then I could just keep my earbuds in. Or do you want me to think to myself?
Yeah.
Think out loud?
No. Well, I mean, if you think that thinking out loud is going to be okay for you and that it's not going to be massively detrimental to your thinking process, then I think thinking
I looked
out
at the
loud
eval bar by accident. You have to give me another one. Sorry, my eval bar was on.
Eval bar?
I said in the lines.
What about the
lines? Yeah, in the lines. Sorry, I saw the best move. Sorry, I forgot to turn it off.
Okay, but then we're still going to be talking about this position.
Okay.
So what is the best move?
Well, I saw the lines, so they said queen d5, but let's think about the position.
Okay. Yeah,
I will think.
Well, queen d5 is not the right move. So
okay, good, because I don't even understand how this would work.
Yeah.
So are we... Okay. I don't know the type of these puzzles are, but I will just give you my thoughts and what I think is the best move.
No, I mean, well, sure, you can... But, like... The best move in these kind of strategic positions are often going to be connected with some kind of a plan. So more often than not, you're not going to, like, one move is not going to be good enough as an answer. You want to have an idea of how you want to proceed and how you evaluate the ensuing position.
Okay, I've done puzzles like this before. Okay. All right, well... The first thing I would say this knight is really misplaced because it is not going to go anywhere here. So maybe I would consider rerouting it to like e3 where it could control these two squares. I would also consider activating...
People are still saying my sound is low.
Really? Are you sure, Chad? It's not just you guys? Okay, he is on full volume. There's no way. Oh, I know why. Oh, I fixed it. Okay, is it better? Hammer?
I have no idea.
Oh, he is so loud. Okay. How is he barely audible? You guys are lying, right? Are they just debating me? Okay. Oh, is there double audio?
So much louder. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, we should be fine.
Now I'm too loud. That's rough.
I think I know what it is. Okay, one more time.
One more time. I'm going to be really enthused.
Enthused? That's not a word. Okay. All right.
What did you just say?
Enthused. You said enthused.
No way you just said that.
Enthused. Enthused. Oh. Well. Oh. I've never heard. I know enthusiastic, but I've never heard enthused. All right. Back to the chess.
That is fucking embarrassing for you, but
I'm not
we'll try
from
to
here.
move past it.
I'm not from this country. Okay. Back to the chess.
'Cause
Back
I
in
am.
Canada. Just kidding. Alright. So. Yes. As I was saying. Wait, is Hammer good? You know what? If he's not, I don't care. Test. I think he's fine.
I'm probably fine. I hope so.
Yeah, you look like you're very
let's
loud.
hear some more about your thoughts.
Okay, he's good now. So, knight, reroute to try to use these squares, possibly. Queen could easily be activated. Maybe I want to double up. Especially, this is a backwards pawn. So maybe, like, queen to d2. Bring one of the rooks over to d1 and get my knight to, like, f5 to all pressure this pawn. That is a potential plan. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'd ever want to try to break through like this. I do like the plan of attacking this. So, that is my plan. Bang. Bang. Bang.
And which order do you want to do these things?
Let's see. Let's think if we want to start with the knight or not. What is my... I mean, the only thing I was thinking about delaying the knight is it's preventing black from pushing this since it's attacking here. I don't know if that's really a problem. They'll probably try to play something like queen here to unpin their queen and connect the rooks. So, let's see. If I were to play like queen d2, maybe queen here, then rook here. I don't even know if this is pressure.
Okay, let me tell you this. If you go queen d2, black has a really powerful response.
Oh.
Can you find that response?
I was thinking maybe bishop here, but I don't know if that's really strong. Maybe there's something better. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, very powerful response. What else? I mean, this bishop attacks the queen, but it doesn't do much. Oh, maybe a queen here is actually better because it's on the light squares fixing the pawn. But let me answer his question first. What else? I was thinking, I don't think. Black probably would like to push this pawn at some point. I don't think they want to push this pawn. Yeah, that seems weak.
Yeah, okay. I think we're ready to discuss.
Okay.
So...
I think this is better also instead of what I said.
Yeah. Given also the fact that you kind of saw the solution, maybe that's messing you up a little bit.
Oh.
Or that you saw that the engine is recommending this queen d5.
By the time I thought of this, I forgot about the engine. It was after you made me question queen d2. Because after you asked me about my move here, I realized that I could do the same thing here. And the only reason I changed to light squared is because I realized, like, on d2, we could get attacked by the bishop, and that's why I thought of this.
Yeah. Okay. So this position, which I was kind of disappointed in you about, is that you didn't really emphasize the importance of the d5 square.
Yes.
What is special about this square?
Well, it would fix this pawn. And, of course, they have the dark squared bishop.
What do you mean would fix this pawn?
Like, block the backwards
pawn. It would prevent... Yeah, it would prevent the pawn from moving. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And, of course, it also restricts this pawn, but they could just move the king.
Yeah,
later.
but now you're getting very stuck in the thinking that it's the queen that's going there, right? I'm not asking about the queen. I'm asking what's special about this square.
Well, yeah, I mean, I also know that knights are... This would also obviously be an outpost knight, so it's probably a better square for the knights.
And why would it be an outpost?
Because no pawns can attack it from there.
Yeah. So I'm really just wanting you to articulate the very basics.
The only reason I thought this wasn't good is because I thought we wanted to keep the file open to keep pressure on d6, whereas we'd block it with the knight.
Sure. But that's pretty far ahead of time. But and
Well,
in
I'm a
general,
long-term thinker.
yeah. So right now, this knight is definitely the worst placed piece.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can get here, it would be the best placed piece. And black wouldn't be able to chase it away. And the bishop, because the black bishop is on dark squares, it wouldn't be able to challenge d5 either.
Yeah, I guess so. I was looking at this, and I guess another way, I don't know, maybe, of course, the way you're putting it, but another reason that d5 is clearly better than f5 because they could just easily attack us with g6. So my
Yes.
knight just wouldn't do anything on f5, so that's just better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, so the right move is knight to c2.
Okay.
And part of the reason why is that black isn't in time to take control over both the b4 and the e3 square. Like black
Oh.
can go bishop g5 here and try and prevent you from doing the idea you have.
Oh, I forgot to ask, was that the move if I would have played queen d2 right away?
No, but we'll do that later.
Okay, okay.
So bishop g5 is trying to prevent the knight from getting to its desired outpost.
Yeah.
But then you can go to the left instead. And so you get here anyway. However, you're not getting to this f5 square because once you go here trying to get to f5, black captures and, well, your position is not that great anymore.
Yes.
So here the main idea for white is just getting the knight to this amazing outpost on d5. And you're absolutely right. That means we're not going to be capturing the d6 pawn in the next 5 moves.
Yep.
But this is long term, right? So first we're going to put the knight here. And then we're going to keep improving the position. We're going to go queen up. We're going to go maybe a4. We're going to get the rook into the center. There's lots of things we can do while the black pawn on d6 remains a big weakness.
Okay, I pretty much thought of this plan, except I didn't consider a4, which makes sense, because if they take, then you just have the rook attacking the isolated pawn, so they're not
Yeah.
going to take, so it's just kind of gaining space and keeping pressure on this pawn, right?
Yeah, and opening up for the rook.
Okay, which is why we would bring this rook to the d file, not the a rook. Okay.
Okay, so, and also the other thing I wanted to talk about is if queen to d2,
Yeah.
there's an incredible resource for black. And now that we have discussed that white's main idea is to get the knight to d5, do you see a way black can prevent that from happening?
Oh, I had an idea, but it was wrong. I thought, well, my first idea was now that they'd have this, they could prevent this b4 square next by pushing a5 when I do that. But I think there's something stronger. Or no? That seemed too simple.
I mean, that's definitely an additional idea. But, like, say if black does a waiting move here, and then you come with your knight, black can then go a5, prevent the knight from getting to b4.
Yeah.
And if you now go knight e3, then the bishop is coming in to capture the knight.
Yeah.
But here, white has a good move. Keeping those ideas in mind.
We don't want to push f4. Could attack this. I once again want to attack the pawn with my queen, but that is not right. Well, actually this would work, because then you could do this next, and then if they do this, you do this.
Correct. Very good.
Okay.
So here, queen to d3 attacks the pawn, black defends, and then you get the knight up, because now this bishop is no longer attacking your queen.
Well, that's why if I were black, after here, I wouldn't start with a5, I would start with bishop here.
Okay. And then queen up.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, then I wouldn't push d6 to begin with, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, sure. But like even here, bishop up, attacking the queen.
Same
Queen moves
thing.
up. Yeah.
Queen here.
Okay. So I'm just gonna show you the idea, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay. Oh, so I didn't find the winning idea for you said black in this
Well, it's
position,
not a
right?
winning idea, but it's
It's a
a
good idea.
crucial idea to keep the game
I
balanced.
had one idea, but I know it's not it. I thought maybe if we were to push, but there's no way to get the pawn back, because then you could also double their pawns, but we don't win this pawn back, so the sack doesn't work. So what else could it be? I want to
Yeah. So
find it.
the right move is d5.
I thought about this, but queen takes, then maybe we take, pawn takes, we take, they take, and then if we attack it, oh, maybe we could attack the c pawn.
Well, the thing is, like, even if black weren't able to get the pawn back, right?
Yeah.
Now we're in a rook end game. The knight is never getting to this d5 square. There are weaknesses in white's camp. The pawns are completely split up. Even if there was no way of winning the pawns back immediately, this would be a much, much better situation for black just because you're able to defend a rook endgame a pawn down easier than you are able to defend against that knight if it were to come to d5.
Okay, that makes sense.
But in addition here, rook attacking the pawn, rook
Yeah, and then rook
defense,
here. Yeah, that's what
rook
I was looking
attacks.
at.
Like
And rook here.
this
Yeah.
pawn
Okay.
is dropping off.
I get it. I get it. I see.
So d5 is brilliant because it sets up this doubled pawns, but also because it kind of makes white put a pawn where he wants to have a knight.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for the Twitch
let's
Prime
take a
5
look
no.
at the next position.
And Christian and Shaydoc, thank you for the 37 months and 700 for the Prime and Turbo for the tier 1. And Nip6, thanks. Alright. Yeah, okay. This one, okay, I mean, now I know how to think about these positions. They're not as hard as I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
just do what makes sense.
Okie
Don't
dokie.
overthink it. Okay, so this is the next one. You're gonna have the black pieces. So you
Alright.
may want to flip the board.
Okay. Oh, I've done this before.
Okay.
I know it's knight takes c4, knight takes, then you push, and you just have a much better King's Indian position, because then, let's play this out. They probably don't want to give the bishop. I'm assuming they'd want to give the knight, so maybe they go like this, this,
Yep.
this. And now you just have a better position, because our bishop is more active, queen's more active, center is not as strong for white, whereas they typically have two center pawns. How would I say, I'm not quite sure how black would. Now these two pawns seem kind of passive. I'm not sure how they would, if they could get any c5.
Well,
later,
that's
but this is just
interesting
better.
because that's the next puzzle.
Oh, haha. Okay.
So this is a two-part puzzle.
Okay. Oh
So
yeah.
the number one is what to do here with the
Yeah.
black pieces.
Yeah.
And as you said correctly, taking on
Giuseppe.
e4 is by far the best move. But it's not because it translates into some King's Indian. I mean, I think that sounds to me like
Oh no,
overthinking it.
not translate.
Because
I mean, this is King's Indian. I was saying I only know this because I've studied this for my theory.
well, I mean, this is the perch.
oh,
right?
the perk. Oh, is it really a difference?
I mean, it's a massive difference. The positioning of white c pawn.
Oh, okay. I never understood the difference
so
between perk
here-
and King's Indian.
Okay, well, here because the pawn is further back,
Yeah.
the chances of white managing to block this bishop's diagonal is much greater because you still have the option of moving this pawn only one step forward, which would massively work against the fianchetto bishop.
Okay, got it. So that is.
So this is
superior.
why when white gets to hold back the c pawn, when you have this kind of King's Indian setup, that is favorable for white. Because there's more chances of locking down this g7 bishop.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, as you said, knight takes e4 is the move. But the reason it's the move is because right now white has these two amazing pawns in the center. And just really good central control in on black's half of the board.
Yeah.
And when you capture it, and the situation that ensues, those pawns are kind of eliminated. So it's just about getting rid of white's amazing center.
Yeah, which is actually, for my opening prep, I need to figure out how to avoid these type of positions as black. But that is for another day.
Yeah. Okay, then this is the next puzzle.
Okay.
What does black do now?
Good question, Hammer. Well, this probably doesn't work, but I just wanted to take a look. Wait, actually it might. Because of the pin. Unlikely, though, because of the queens. Bang, bang. Take. Bang. Rook here. Bishop here. Knight here. And then they can't defend the pawn. I actually like this idea. But what if they push? I don't think that's a problem. I don't think they'd push. I do like this e5 hammer.
Okay, what happens if white captures?
Then I take the queen, because we have to, king takes. And then rook e8, attacking the pawn. Then he defends with the bishop, because it's attacked twice. Then I attack it a third time, and he has no more defense.
Yeah.
Was that correct?
Well, I'm correct. I mean, do you like the position afterwards?
I mean, it's an improvement. It seems like it's the best plan. I'm not very good in, like, those type of positions in general because they're, like, middle game positions that you have to be good in the end game. But I think it's the best plan.
Yeah, do you see what you just did?
I doubted myself.
Yeah, you're talking down on your own abilities.
We don't do that.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, that line seems okay. Like, white should be slightly better.
But there's something, there's another plan.
You get the pawn back.
There's another plan. Another idea I thought of was c5. Because, right, if they take, we always have check. But I also, I'm not too fond of these positions, but I think this might actually be better. I also like it better because we don't trade off all the pieces. And let's say they would block, you could take, and then at least we have, like, well, they probably wouldn't even want to block with the bishop because I don't think they'd want to do that. But what if they don't take the pawn? They probably wouldn't want to take the pawn. They'd probably defend it with, like, this. Bang, bang. And then if I'm thinking if I want to develop my knights. This gets tricky because now I'm like, I don't think I want to do this knight because then they'd probably trade. So I'm not sure how I would continue from here. You could take. And then they have a nice
the thing is,
pawn.
Yeah, once white plays c3, you got to be careful about your own pawn, right?
Which, oh, this
that
pawn.
They might capture it, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd have to take.
Yeah, but, like, if you think white's best recapture on d4 is taking back with the pawn, I want that to be automatic for you. Because, like, giving white the isolated pawn in the center is a major accomplishment for black.
But then how do you attack it? I just don't see. Because you don't want to play knight here. Because then they'll ruin your pawn structure. Are we not worried about this?
I mean, you just gave them an isolated pawn, and
Yeah.
then you're going to be worried about you getting an isolated pawn yourself.
Yeah, and
You
we
got
could
the
trade it off.
bishops.
Yeah,
You
I thought
got
the bishop was
your
strong.
bishop can get this amazing square on d5, maybe.
Okay. This is
This
actually
is a
very
square
helpful.
where yeah, this is a square where white cannot attack the bishop, right? So we always want to be aware of those kind of outposts where our bishop cannot, well, our pieces cannot be forced back.
Yes.
So like white has this square, but that's going to be difficult to get to. We have this square. And all in all, it's probably decent chances for both, right? But black with the bishop pair, I
Okay.
would say is for preference.
Yeah, that's very fair. I always get very scared off of moves once I look one move in and see like, oh, I don't like my pawn structure, and then dismiss it without like really thinking it out.
Yeah.
So then I think I like this plan maybe better. I'm trying to think why I like this plan.
Yeah.
But I guess
No,
it's the
white
same
is gonna
idea,
white is gonna take on c5.
yeah. And then we'll play like
Yeah.
this. And then maybe this. And then
Yeah.
this. And then maybe
Yeah.
this. And then I have to come here. And I've
Yeah.
actually kind of played positions like this. I mean,
Yeah.
the development is pretty normal. It's still a little bit passive for black, because, like, this bishop only has d7, but, you know, after rook d8. Or maybe, yeah. Maybe even bishop d6.
Yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't even put your knight on c6.
You'd put it on
Uh,
d7?
Well, I would go here to chase the bishop back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I like that this is your instinct, because this was my instinct as well. Moving the queen up and just capturing. But actually, computers say that there's even better options for black.
There it is.
Yeah, so like the computer wants to capture, I think, and then
Knight
do
here?
something like super crazy. Yeah.
This or
Well, the knight somewhere to
there
attack
too,
this
yeah.
pawn.
I thought here because prevents this, but they can't do it anyway, so we don't need that.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, this makes absolutely no sense, right? Because white is moving forward,
Maybe
and you think like white
we
is
get
going to be
this?
up a pawn.
But maybe we get this pawn.
Yeah, but this is incredibly difficult to evaluate ahead of time.
Yeah, and they have
Like,
this. What after this?
yeah, this and then knight c5. Apparently, this is winning for white. For black, sorry. Despite
Really?
having given up the
Oh,
pawn.
yeah. There's no. I'm guessing because like
Yeah.
the attack you get on.
No,
the
but I
king.
mean, like,
This
I
is
would have
hard.
absolutely no chance at this, right?
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to correctly evaluate the how good your kind of dynamics, how good your attacking chances is in a position where there are no queens and you're kind of down a pawn, and
Yeah.
it seems like white has everything defended.
Well, now that I know this idea, if it ever happens in a game, you could play into it. But yeah, it is very
Yeah.
computer line.
It's very difficult to find. But one
Thank you,
line
Ray.
I think is easier to understand
Uh-huh.
is queen to c7, which seems very strange, right? Because it makes sense making the double attack against the king and the pawn.
I
But
think I get it.
the truth of it is that this pawn isn't running anywhere anyhow.
Right. We help them push something with check that they'd want to do anyways, and if they defend, we have like knight d7, and we'll get the pawn anyway.
Well, actually, if bishop e3,
Oh, they're
you have
hanging.
this-
Oh, so they can't even
Yeah.
defend it, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this position, white would go c3.
Oh, so we're not taking it yet. We don't even want to take it right away.
Well, that's my question. What is
Ooh.
the advantage black has of only stepping one,
I see.
going one step forward with the queen
Well,
instead of...
they're not going to do this, so they're not going to defend it. Maybe they'll have this, but I mean, maybe now you could take with a knight, which is better because we're activating that knight.
Yes.
Ah,
Very good.
I
So
get
here-
it.
Yeah. So you want to recapture the pawn on c5, but you want to do it with a knight because then you develop your piece, but you also put pressure on the bishop in the center, forcing it to retreat, and then black takes over. And in general, this kind of pawn structure is very good for black because black has managed to get the superiority in the center with a 2 versus 1. So there's potential here long term for black to utilize the majority to push those pawns forward.
Okay. I get it.
In the long term. First, we want to get our pieces out, but then once we've kind of done everything we need to do, then we start pushing the majority.
Okay, this is helpful. I get it. Chat, you get it?
And the reason you don't go with the queen to a5 is because here, if knight d7, now there's pawn here, I think.
Oh, which we're preventing with the queen on... yeah, you need to keep an eye for this threat.
Yeah.
Yes, clueless. It's okay, chat. I get it. That's all that matters.
Okay, let's...
We have a question from our good friend John.
Oh, yes.
He asks, what do you do with the light squared bishop? Good question.
Probably bishop d7. So
yeah,
let's try and just game this out. Like queen c7, pawn to c3, knight to d7. We want to get the knight up here and attacking the bishop. White is probably going to castle. Knight takes here. Bishop moves back. Okay, never mind bishop here. I might even play b6 here.
And maybe
look
a6?
At that diagonal.
Oh.
Look at that diagonal.
Oh yeah, if you kick out this bishop, that makes sense.
So that's another advantage, right? Of using the knight to recapture the pawn. We force white's bishop back, and that allows us to take control of the diagonal instead. But, I mean, even just bishop here is completely fine. Mostly the reason you want to move this bishop is just to get the rook into the center. And then when you're done, you start going crazy in the center.
Got it. Understood.
I think the important thing is just knowing that the long-term plan is just to rush with the pawns.
A question for this. I mean, I always like this plan, but whenever I do push these pawns, I always get... I guess in this position, they can't really use this diagonal, but I get intimidated because they get, like, bishop here, maybe knight here. The king becomes on h8, and the f7 becomes weak, especially if the diagonal is open, but maybe because the knight is blocking it, we don't worry.
I would definitely consider going h6
before you pawn
preparation. I mean, it would depend on calculations.
Okay.
But I would probably do it at some point.
Okay, I got it. We have a lot of strong players in the chat learning. We have Julian, who is an IM. Thanks, John, for the prime. Good to see you guys in the chat. Okay, I got it. I'm ready for the next one, coach.
Okay, here we go. At this time, you're going to play with the white pieces.
Okay. This is not a London position. We are stepping outside of our comfort zone.
Yes, because we're universal players.
Wait, is Julian IM or
who's just good at chess rather than specific positions?
I am great at chess. Okay. Julian is a FM. Oops. Whatever. Okay. Oh, I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward. My first instinct's right away, but I will think more as always to push e5 if you can. Especially in a position like this where there's so many ways you can defend it. Like, why not? Because where is this knight gonna go? The only thing we need to watch out for, he is face palming. That's not good. The only thing we need to watch out for would be this, which would attack the pawn twice, and attack this, which, yeah, well, that's fine, because if they take the queen, we could take like this. Okay, this is looking messy. Bang, 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 bang. I mean, we've defended everything. I don't know. And then he attacks again, and then we defend again. And then what? Then I'm gonna kick out the knight. I don't know why hammer face pawn. This pawn push looks fine. There must be something. No. I thought I was giving a queen. No, I'm not. Bang, bang. Is there something better?
Well, let's just say, what happens after you go e5, right? If you go e5 here, what happens? Your pawn is all on its own in the center. It has no support.
Well, it'll have support. It'll bring the rook and the bishop.
Okay, it has some support, yes. But like earlier in this position, we had kind of the perfect center, right?
Yeah.
So in general, what you want to be looking for is having your pawns next to each other.
Okay.
Like this is the ultimate strategy, because when you have one pawn on the dark squares and one pawn on the light squares, they complement each other perfectly.
Okay.
Because chess is very much
it's
about
a yin and yang.
controlling. Yeah, it's about controlling both the light squares and the dark squares at the same time. When you push this pawn forward in the center, unless you're winning like a pawn or something, rather immediately, then what you've accomplished out of this is just putting your pawn on a dark square, which means your control of the light squares has been massively reduced.
Okay, I get it. It's a beautiful analogy.
In addition to this pawn being, well, I would say the pawn is in some danger, even though you think you can support it with a rook and bishop, and that might technically be true for the first 5 moves, but long term, this pawn is gonna be an issue, because once you have your knight and your bishop and your rook defending that, if black just manages to get one more piece to attack it, then it's a goner.
Okay, coach.
So you want to be very careful about being too aggressive with your pawns, and especially when your pawns are already perfectly placed. This exercise here is very much about trying to preserve the good stuff you've already accomplished.
Okay. So, alright. Well, if that's what we're doing, then I would just play a bunch of developing moves that are not as exciting. But that's what I would do. Maybe not start with the rook, but the rook would want to end up here. I'd probably want to take out my bishop. I'd think about one of these 2 squares, because if we come here, they'd have this. So I'd debate if I want to push h3 first. But I kind of like bishop here. Queen could come here. Everything is defended. So yeah, bishop f4 and queen d2. And then bring in the rooks.
What move would black play after bishop f4?
I'm looking at either this or this, but I think if they play bishop g4, oh, actually that is a problem because they'll attack this pawn. So if I come here, they come here.
But you can move the pawn forward, no?
Why do you look so smitten?
Why are you constantly looking at my camera?
I couldn't not see it. You got the biggest grin on your face. Shh. Okay. Push the pawn forward. But we just talked about how in life you must control the dark and the light squares, and if we push the pawn forward, we're not going to be doing that.
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
I think that's a great, yeah. No, yes. Yes means yes.
No! Because you said pawn forward here, but we wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that, which is a very important thing to realize.
Okay, so where are we going with this then?
Well, so I'm saying maybe bishop f4 is not such a great move.
Oh, okay.
If black then can force you to move your pawn forward in the center.
Oh, that's where you were going with that.
Oh yeah,
I see now.
I
You
thought
kind of
we
threw
were
me
going
off.
there. Yeah,
No,
well, I thought we were kind of going there together,
I was
but
hoping
you
we were
know,
gonna get an
if you wanted to,
exception. I thought there was gonna
sure.
be a twist at the end where we did push the pawn forward, but I was wrong. So then,
Yeah.
new plan. Forget that. My plan is h3. So then we could go here
And why could you not go there immediately?
because they'll do this.
But if they go there, you can go bishop f4.
Then we go f4, and then we get this with a tempo, right? Okay, so it is bishop e3, and then maybe like queen d2, and then maybe a rook move, rook e.
But let me suggest after bishop e3, what if I then go rook e8?
I considered that. Oh, maybe queen d3 is even better. No, maybe not.
Yeah, okay, queen d3 looks like a pretty good move.
Okay.
I take back rook e8. Let me
Hammer
just
didn't
go,
blink when I said that, so I was... Okay.
Let me go bishop g4 instead.
Okay. So... the pawn. What do we do about the pawn?
I'm kind of just messing with you right now.
I know that.
I'm just trying to illustrate the fact that even if you support your pawns in the center, this bishop coming out to attack the knight, which your problem here is that not only is this knight defending the pawn in the center, the knight is also kind of relying on the queen to take back.
Question.
Which would mean the queen moves away from the protection in the center.
What if I don't care and I say knight e2? You're not going to want to take?
Yeah, well, you blundered the e4 pawn.
Oh, yeah, my pawn is hanging. Okay.
No, but the idea is good. Like, knight e2 in some situations is like a really good move in similar situations.
So, you know what? Then my first move was good. h3 was good. And then you gaslit me to think it was unnecessary when I was on the right track all along.
I did, yes. I did do that.
And... yeah, one of my ideas for h3 was also preventing this, but I only gave you one answer, and then we went down the rabbit hole and I was tricked.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out that it's more important to prevent bishop g4 than it is to prevent knight to g4.
That was a strange way to make your point.
The point
but,
of my gaslighting. Yeah. Yeah, so h3 is the right move. It's a very good move, and it's all about preventing opportunities for the opponent and preserving the perfect center in the middle. And now if the black rook comes to attack the pawn, you go with your rook and defend the pawn. And black is really struggling to find good squares for their pieces, in particular the c8 bishop, because these pawns are doing such a great job of just restricting and having control.
Question. So you're probably going to go like queen d3, bishop here anyway. So it doesn't matter if you start with the rook or the queen after rook e8. If we play queen d3 first?
Yeah, probably doesn't matter.
Okay, so the plan is the same.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Well, I'm not sure I would put the bishop here. Honestly, I kind of like your square.
You gaslit me out of that one, but I forgot why that was bad. Oh, because of the pawn. But that's no longer a weakness.
Bishop g4. Yeah. So you
kind
of solved the bishop g4 issue, so now we're back to this. Like, white's next moves kind of are self-explanatory. Bishop out, queen up, rook into the middle. And then you're going to be ready for e5. So this is the thing, right? When you're making the assault in the center, you want to make sure that you've improved your position as much as you can. So I gave you a lot of flack for that e5 move, but in reality, it is white's plan in the long term. It's just that first we prevent black from getting counterplay by taking the g4 square. And while black is now stuck like doing silly development moves because they have no good squares for their pieces, then we're kind of using that time to strengthen our position, get our pieces in great places, and then we can be ready to do this e5 move once we have, you know, the rook's already in place, pointing down in the middle. The bishop is already in place, supporting the pawn when it moves forward.
So technically you could say I had the right plan all along, just needed a little bit more preparation.
I mean, that's not how I would put it, but I will let you have that conclusion.
That is
Yes.
my conclusion. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. This was
Okay,
successful.
let's do another one.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll even have time for 2 more.
Okay, that sounds like a good goal. Oh my god, I'm glad, Logic. Thank you, Sir Rubber Ducky, for the 2 months. Sorry,
Okay,
I
here
see
you're
Chad had
having the
questions,
black
but we don't
pieces.
care about your questions. Okay.
Oh, Chad has
No,
questions?
no,
Maybe
we're
I
moving
can
on.
answer.
Nope. We'll leave it in the dust. Leave it in the past. Alright. You must focus on your star student, Hammer.
Yes.
You can only focus on one, not all of them.
Yes. And my
Okay.
star student is now going to make a move with the black pieces.
Okay. I don't like this position. This one looks tricky. So, obviously this pawn is much weaker than this pawn, even though we both have isolated. I thought maybe if we could try to trade, but I don't really want to open up this bishop. It'd be nice to maybe activate my rook on the second rank with the queen. What if we, okay, do we want to try to trade the rooks? That is another question. There's a couple, oh, I can't really activate the queen since it's defending this pawn. What we could do is if we do this rook trade and he takes, then we could reroute the bishop to g7. Which is an idea. Let's see if there's anything else. What would they do? Do I want to trade the rooks? I mean, we both have open files. But their rook just feels a little bit more scary. But I guess, I don't know, maybe, can I put pressure on this pawn? Bang, bang, bang. Okay, I'm going to look at this once more. Because I feel like I'm onto something, but maybe I'm wrong. Then they could maybe get, like, queen here, which would pin my bishop and be strange. I don't know if I need to worry about that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to force the rook trade. What other ideas are there here? Well, the queen can never move because we always have to defend this pawn, so bang, bang. Sacking doesn't work. Thought maybe there's like a check, but after they go to light square, here there's nothing. But otherwise we just can't move the queen. And I don't want to defend the pawn with my rook. So this pawn is very annoying. Bang, 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 bang. Then what? Oh, wait, what if bang? Bang. No, I was thinking rook here, but they play check. So that doesn't work. I could play rook here first. But that doesn't do anything. I don't like any of these plans. I don't like my ideas here. I'm not pleased. What if, one more idea, we get the queen to d5 after we move the bishop, because then if they take, we have our pawn on a white square fixing this bishop and this pawn. So then maybe we want to move the bishop, maybe over here to f6. I like this! Hammer's smiling. I think this might be it. Or he's gaslighting me again just to tell me my idea is wrong till the very end when it was actually correct. Who knows? Maybe bishop e7 seems pretty solid. Well, I'm saying this confidently, not just because I saw Hammer's grid, but that is my plan.
Yeah. Good plan.
Yes. And is the queen here also the plan, or just the bishop to f6?
I mean, I would definitely be considering queen to d5. I would probably put the bishop here first to put pressure.
Yep.
And then maybe go for the queen trade. So I think one of the things we need to talk about is this rook on c8. right? Because the
Yes.
first thing you're thinking about is trying to make a trade with White's rook. So I'm gonna say something Magnus taught me at a
Ooh.
point when I was like already 2700. I was one of the best players in the world, but something Magnus told me just I had never thought about it before, and I thought it was like really brilliant insight. And what Magnus said is that you want to be the one having the rook on the file furthest away from the kings.
Hmm.
So here, both rooks have an open file,
Mm-hmm.
but it's advantageous to have the open file furthest away from the kings. Um, and I think part of the reason for that is that
Because the
yeah,
king controls some squares on the file.
I that's definitely part of it. And part of it is like some kind of Magnus knowledge I don't fully understand enough to articulate it.
Okay, well, I mean, the king
Um,
controlling the file seems like somewhat
yeah.
self-explanatory.
But definitely the rook, black's rook is a pretty good one. And we
Okay.
don't want um to trade it with whites.
Now
And
I'm
then you
very
also had
curious.
this plan. You had this plan of getting the bishop,
Yeah.
rerouting it to attack the pawn, which I think really helped you once you found this bishop e7 idea. That you kind of accomplished what you wanted, but in a way that just kept the rook here. And also, by getting the bishop there, you're kind of also blocking for white's rook to do anything dangerous.
Yep.
So it's just a really good rerouting of your bishop.
Yes.
And that's kind of it. Like this, it wasn't. If you turn on the engine, it says that multiple moves were okay for black, and that black doesn't have that big of an advantage.
We
But
don't
in
use
a
the
human
engine.
game, yeah, here in a human game, just finding that idea to put pressure in the center makes white's life difficult. And that's like that's what chess is about, right? You want to make moves that that puts pressure on your opponent.
Okay, just
And
to play a couple moves, because I'm very curious. So, like, let's put a couple moves for white. I want to see, like, if you would go for queen d5 right after bishop f6. So, like, what would white do in this position? Maybe king move?
well, I believe in the game rook e1 was played.
Oh, so now we have to defend against the threat. Would you play king f7?
No.
Oh, that's hanging. Oops. So you have to
Yes.
play rook here. No. No, no, no. Okay, let me think. What? Bang, 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 bang. Oh, maybe here still, because take, bang. And then we take this pawn. So you still play bishop f6?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
But this in some to some degree this was important to see already when you chose the plan. So I probably should have asked you about this
Oh,
rook
this
e1
move?
move. Yeah.
It's okay.
But you did find the solution when we got into it.
Yeah.
And here black is just winning because yes, you notice that the pawn on a2 is in trouble, but the pawn on d4 is also dropping
Yeah.
off
True. And oh, I mean, this is like,
with the check.
yeah. There's nothing. They can only really come here, so yeah, they're just gonna lose two
Yeah.
pawns. Okay. Yeah, no, that would make sense because the first thing that I noticed about the position was that the queen was controlling c2, so I would have thought about that, but I only found it right
Yeah.
away because I realized there's no way to save that pawn.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that was a good one.
I'm
I
ready
feel
for the
like
last
we're
one. I've been saving
yeah
a question. Since
saving what
saving a question for the end of this puzzle. Are we done with this
we're
one?
done with this puzzle. Yes.
Okay, since you shared that token of knowledge about what Magnus taught you, would you say that what Magnus is to you, you are to me? Just say yes and move on.
No. No.
Okay, never mind. I'm never asking you a question again. Thank you, Artie Marchon, for the 4 months. We'll just move on.
Yeah.
It's just tough love chat. He meant yes. In Norwegian, no means yes. Okay.
You do realize that I beat Magnus a couple of times.
And I've beaten you a couple of times, so I don't see what's
chess.
wrong with this comparison.
Classical
well,
chess.
classical chess in this day and age has different definitions, Hammer.
Yeah.
Time odds matches can count. Is this white or black?
You're playing with the black pieces.
Okay. I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm gonna hold it and keep it as a prize for when I get the puzzle right.
Okay. Or you can remember the position and calculate it in your head while you're at the bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I really have to go. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking. I am becoming Magnus.
I don't think she's gonna remember anything about the position. But honestly, this is a legit strategy, chat. Remembering the position and then going to the bathroom. I've come up with some very brilliant moves while I was, taking care of business. I was getting relief and finding fantastic plans. It's just something about the setting. You feel more relaxed, and then suddenly you see some opportunities you wouldn't have spotted otherwise. Ultimate efficiency, yeah. And also sometimes, even when you're at work and you're thinking about a problem that you need to solve and that requires thinking, sometimes you're not going to just sit at the office and just think about it for 3 hours until your face goes blue and you hate your life and you start applying for new jobs in the middle of the work hour. You want to, you take a break, you go for a walk, you clear your head. And that legitimately works in chess as well. You're not always going to manage to get the best results by just sitting pale at the board non-stop for 30 minutes.
I forgot about the position.
Yeah, oh,
I
really?
tried.
That's a
I
big
tried.
surprise.
I got distracted and forgot.
To be fair, it is easier once you're kind of playing the game yourself and you're so well acquainted with all the previous moves.
That is true. See, when I'm in Vegas and I use the bathroom, I won't forget. All right.
Yes.
So we have an opposite colored bishops, rook endgame.
Yes.
They do have a little bit of this advanced pawn right here, controlling this square, but my pawns here do hold the light and the dark squares, the yin and yang of life. I do have this strong square for my bishop.
I feel like you learned something today.
I really like this dark light analogy. I feel like I can apply, I can make a beautiful metaphor out of it.
That's great.
All right. I do like this idea right away, bishop d5, because it just blocks this rook. And then I could bring this rook right here. And then maybe activate my king, but let me keep thinking a little bit. I'm trying to think if I were to do that, would I want to place my king like on f6 to block this pawn? Because then white would never really advance on this side of the board. But I'm not quite sure what more plans I would have otherwise than that. But I mean, it just seems like the best plan, because otherwise, I mean, maybe king here to control this, but I don't want to let the rook in. So I do like this. I would play this right away. And then I'm going to think what I would play next. Bang, bang, bang.
Maybe think about what white can do?
Yeah. Well, they don't want to... they would like to push, but they can't. Maybe they attack this pawn is the problem. And I was thinking, like, if they do this... Yeah, now we can't defend with the bishop because we allow this check, which is annoying. I don't know if we'd want to defend with the rook, but maybe it's not too bad because we're both using our rooks to attack it or defend a pawn. And then I could even bring my rook to like a5. So he would actually have to move his rook. And then maybe I'd bring my rook to b5 after that. So it's not actually bad. So if he... Yeah, I actually don't think this is a threat because I rook here. Seems a little bit slow, but I think it's okay. Or I could even bring my king. So what else would they do after this? Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem any other threats. That's really the only weakness, that pawn is undefended and we can defend it. Maybe they'd want to activate their king, but that's not really a threat either. And they can't push this pawn, so I'm okay with that. Hammer.
Okay. How do you feel about the move F5?
F5 for white? Oh. Yes. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, I didn't consider that. Well, is that a threat? Because I would just take back with the king, which would help me, but I don't know if they'd want to take right away. The only thing that would do... Well, it wouldn't even... Yeah, it would restrict my king from getting to c6. But bang, bang. And maybe give him some space right here. I'm trying to think if we'd want to... I wish we could get like a pawn move that would control this, but I can't do either of these. Well, I could push g5, actually. Bang, bang, g5. And if he takes, I take with the king. But now I have isolated pawn. But I just don't like leaving this because then they'll get bishop here, and I feel like we gave white some space with that. So, no, f5 first to block the pawn is not good, because then we're giving them more dark squares. So I think we just let him do it, and we just put pressure on this pawn. Bang. Yeah, now it's getting messy. But how else will they progress after this? I didn't consider...
So you kind of got very stuck on the idea of your first move.
So you don't like this move?
No, I don't like it. But regardless of... I'm not going to be in Vegas to kind of tell you I don't like the move you're thinking about, right? But in general, it's important to kind of keep an open mind, right?
Like in life.
Well, yes, if that's what you need. If you need a...
I'm a very practical woman.
Yeah, a comparison.
Okay. Well, I do not understand why the hammer does not like this move except for this, but I'm going to keep thinking, because that's what an open-minded woman like me would do.
Except for that?
What? Wait, what?
I mean, finding one good response is enough in chess, no?
Well, it just doesn't seem like it's a big threat. I'm not scared. I don't care if you push f5.
Okay, so here's the thing. You kind of touched upon two things already with this f5 move. Well, at least one thing, which is that once white manages to get f5, they open up for more possibilities for their bishop.
Yeah. But is it really a threat? Because the bishop can't move because he'll have to defend c5?
Yeah, true.
Thanks, the whole time.
Well, it only needs to defend c5 if you have to move the rook.
Yeah.
And to give you a secret to the position.
Don't give it to me. Okay. No hints. I want to solve it.
Okay, what does white do after rook c8? Or the same kind of question, what does white do if you go rook a8 in the initial position?
G4?
Yes. Why G4?
I'm trying to think. Well, if we trade, then they can bring their king to G3, but they're just gaining space.
Yeah, but not just gaining space. They're gaining something specific. Something more specific than space. What's the commonality of the space they're gaining?
It's on the light squares?
Weird. Light squares, yes.
But that's not good, though, because I have a light squared bishop. Why would that be a benefit?
No, it doesn't matter about your bishop. It matters about their bishop. Their bishop is on the dark squares. And when you have a dark squared bishop, you want to have your pawns on the light squares, because if you have both your pawns and your bishop on the dark squares, you have no light square control whatsoever. So this is a very good general note to keep in mind, that you very often want to have your pawns on opposite color to your bishop,
Yeah, of
because
course.
that's when they work together in the best possible way.
I know that, but I mean, there's also the other side where you don't typically want your pawns on the same color as your opponent's bishop.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Really? Have I been
would
lied
say
to my entire life?
More often than not, you want to have your pawns on the same as your opponent's bishop, because then your pawns will often block the opponent's bishop.
I don't know. I've always...
I mean, there's definitely specific cases where having your pawns on the same square as the opponent's bishop is bad because your pawns get captured. But as long as you're being careful about how you do it, and as long as you never go too far with your pawns, so far that you kind of cannot keep up with them, and that they don't have the necessary support from the rest of your pieces, then putting your pawns on the same square as your opponent's bishop, I would say, should be encouraged.
Okay. Alright. Well, my life has been a lie.
There's
That's fine.
There's definitely exceptions. But
Okay.
I think for you, the main thing to keep in mind is how your pieces are working together.
Well,
When
then...
you have a bishop, when you have a bishop on the light squares, you want to have your pawns on the dark squares to some extent. Which is why I was really happy with something you said earlier. This move G5 is a brilliant move. Really, really good. I really like your instincts here.
Even, I mean, this is okay for black, because you bring king out,
Yeah.
and we're not worried about the isolated pawn.
No.
Okay, well, based on what you were saying...
You got a passed pawn in the center, right?
Yeah,
What happened here is you get a passed pawn in the center. That's kind of important.
That's true. It'll take us a while till we can actually push it, but...
For sure. But, like, this is all a pretty equal endgame already, right? It's opposite colored bishops. It's like, you have to be a really good player to win this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got it. Well, so based on what you were saying... Oh, actually, no, I was thinking that maybe we'd start with, like, h4, but I don't know after g4, because I don't want to allow f5, and we can't quite...
Yeah, to some extent,
Yeah.
like, you going to h4 is
Much.
allowing them to put their pieces on the opposite of their bishop.
This
right?
is getting complicated.
Well, yeah, it's but the answer is not that complicated. But let's talk about, yeah, so we talked about how if the rook moves, then g4.
Yes.
But g4 would not, if it was white's move here, white would not play g4.
Yep. Yes.
Because?
Well, because our rook's on the file.
Yeah. So we would capture and invade.
Yes. As Romans
So
do.
what we want to do is that we want to improve the positioning of our pieces. One of the ways of doing that is trying to get the rook potentially up on the side of the board.
Well,
But when we do that, we get g4 in our faces.
yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm telling you the answer.
I'm sure. Don't.
The sub battle. Well,
I'll
the
get
sub
it.
battle is about
No,
to
no, no,
start
no, no, no,
anyway.
no, no. Don't tell me the answer. It's fine. We're fine. I will get it. No more hints. Well, the hard thing here is just because the only piece that we can really improve, we can't move the rook because we allow this. There's the king, but like nothing's gonna happen over here. I also don't like that they have this square. Okay, I'm thinking. What else could we do? And, like, if we were pushing, like, this would just be terrible, because that would just create a lot of weaknesses.
Yes.
We could try to push here. No, I don't think so. No, because if we trade, we can't really bring our king here, because the rook comes here. Sorry, I'm not a fan of that either.
And also, trading pawns is making White's defense so much easier. So one of our goals here is trying to avoid pawn trades.
And if I wanted to improve the bishop, the issue is the bishop. I mean, maybe king here first to defend the square. And then now we could, I mean, why would you even want to put the bishop? So the threat that hammer, well
personally, I think the bishop is doing quite okay.
Yeah, the bishop's fine. Well, then the only piece that we can really improve is the king.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, there we did it. Now what? Don't answer that.
What?
I am.
Oh, let's just sit and wait. Your king is not really doing much here compared to what it was doing. Because you're being blocked.
I don't think we want to trade rooks. No. What else? There's a rook lift idea, but that doesn't.
Just the fewer pawns in the position, the closer you are to just having a sort of rook versus rook or something kind of position. Basically, the only way you win in chess is by getting a new queen. So, like, even when like top grandmasters are up a pawn, they're not going to win because they have an extra pawn. They're going to win because they're going to get a queen in like 30 moves. So the fewer pawns, the fewer opportunities you have to get a queen. And that's why the fewer the pawns, the higher the chances of it ending in a draw.
But we don't want to draw in this position. This is supposed to be playing for the... I don't know how that was supposed to help me. I feel like it just made me more...
No, I'm just answering questions from chat.
Oh, I thought you were giving me hints.
Oh, no.
Oh. Okay.
I thought I was giving you time to kind of think.
Oh, no, I was listening to you, waiting for the final conclusion.
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
It's okay. I've been thinking. One other plan I got... Nah, it's just too passive. I just don't like this position.
Your sub battle is starting.
No, it's fine. We're finishing this.
Well, I don't want to, be late.
No, it's fine.
I don't want Anna to think I'm rude.
It's fine. I will handle it. I'm going to solve this puzzle. I don't care. We're not going anywhere until I solve this puzzle.
Okay, let's go back to the initial position. Just on the off chance.
What if we do this?
A different move. Okay, what's the idea?
Well, my plan was to try to get the king in the center, but that's not good. So, maybe, bang, bang, bang. Nope. Nope, that's not it.
Well, the thing is, once you push in the center, you allow the trades. And you also, like, this pawn for white is actually really bad. Because it's participating, kind of blocking for the bishop. So every time you try to trade off this pawn...
I get it! I get it. Bang, bang, and now we've prevented this. And then we move the rook.
Yes. And what else have you prevented?
This!
Yes. Very good.
Okay.
So you start out by improving the positioning of the king, and then you have the option of going bishop d5 later, or you have the option of trying to get the rook in.
So once again, I had the right plan from the beginning, and then you gaslit me to think it was wrong, but this was the idea in the end, and this, which I said both of these at the beginning.
I'm just saying, I'm highlighting this because it was something you were hung up on, right? I'm not saying it's a brilliant move here.
But you recommended it.
I'm just saying now it's a viable option because this plan of exchanging pawns is no longer available to white.
I just see a common theme here. I think I'm a genius. I just need to solve through my first moves. But my instincts are just always the best moves. Well, plans, not moves.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to be difficult for black to win, but the improvement of the king is just massive.
Okay.
Because you're preventing all of these ideas for white to get these pawns over to the light squares.
Yes. I have learned.
Like, you were very concerned about this rook d6.
Which now he just trapped.
Well, no, because then rook d7.
Are we worried about that? You don't want to push this?
Well, I don't want to trade this pawn. And I want to keep the pawn on a dark square because I don't want to lose.
I see.
Dark square control.
I see.
And like, if you're concerned about the rook coming in here, you should definitely be concerned when the rook is coming in and actually threatening something.
Yes.
But the thing is, here, the rook is pointing at a pawn that's well defended by the king.
Yes. And
the bishop that's well defended by the pawn. And, like, white can just sit here, but if you just sit there, like, boom.
Ah. Like, the plan that I highlighted.
Yeah, long term, this is black's plan. And now black is winning.
Okay.
Like, if black can get the rook into the action, in conjunction with the king being super aggressive and the bishop participating in its way, this is like super dangerous.
Okay. I get it. I have been enlightened.
Okay. Have fun with the sub battles.
Thank you, Hammer. Okay, alright. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.
How do you say good night in Norwegian?
Godnatt.
Godnatt. Godnatt.